Well, good afternoon. Thank all of you for being here today. Joining me are our City Attorney, Jan Goldsmith, our Council Member and colleague, Public Safety Chair, Marty Emerald, Chief of Police, William Lansdowne, Assistant Police Chief, Shelley Zimmerman, members of the San Diego Police Officers Association, and of course, many of our officers and command staff that are joining us here today. When I ran for mayor, I promised that I would ensure stability and integrity in this city. And I'm putting that into action today. I am proud to announce that I have selected Assistant Police Chief Shelley Zimmerman as the new Chief of Police for the San Diego Police Department. The San Diego Police Department needs leadership now. Chief Zimmerman is a 31-year veteran, and she's ready to lead. As your mayor, my top priority is ensuring a healthy San Diego Police Department that services all of our neighborhoods every single day of the week, every single day and night. And I believe there is no better choice to lead this department and to accomplish this goal than Assistant Chief Shelley Zimmerman. Shelley Zimmerman understands clearly what will be acceptable in this department and what will not be. She understands our neighborhoods and has strong community relationships and support from all parts of this great city of ours. And she knows how critically important it is that we recruit and retain the best and the brightest officers to serve this great city of ours. Working together, all of us, we will support this department from the ground up. That starts at the individual officer level, and no one knows the needs of our officers better than Chief Shelley Zimmerman. I want San Diegans to know that we will ensure trust in this police department. We will ensure and insist upon the highest standards, so we are keeping and attracting the best officers to serve our neighborhoods. And we will recruit police officers to create a department that reflects the diversity of our great city. I've asked our Council President, Interim Mayor Todd Gloria, to schedule a vote on this next week. And in addition to our announcement today of our new police chief, I'm also working with our City Attorney, Jan Goldsmith, to engage an outside national agency to conduct an independent performance review of the San Diego Police Department. The City Attorney will address this further in his remarks. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the Chair of our Public Safety Committee and my colleague, Marty Emerald. Marty?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is an exciting and historic day in the city of San Diego. First, however, I do want to acknowledge the great contribution made by Police Chief William Lansdowne. He has shepherded this department through 10 years with rocky waters and budget issues, and you've done it with class, and you've done it with great competence, and our neighborhoods are safer for it. So thank you, William Lansdowne, for your leadership over the last 10 years. You've also built, Chief Lansdowne has also recruited the brightest and best to our command staff. His assistant chiefs, our captains, lieutenants, sergeants, all the way through, and has set a remarkable example for the vast majority of these police officers. And I hope that you will always be remembered as the great leader you are. And among those who has benefited from your leadership and has risen to the top as a great team leader is Shelley Zimmerman. Not only is she a wonderful police officer who does understand the needs of communities, who cares about our neighborhoods, and is devoted to this police department. Oh, well, she's an Ohio fan, but we'll let that go. As a woman, it's great to see another woman in a position of leadership. And I think that you come to this opportunity with some sets of skills and sensitivities that will make an enormous difference on the streets of San Diego. So I'm so eager to see Shelley elected as our next police chief by the City Council this next week, and to begin what will be many years in this position and create a legacy of your own, creating safer neighborhoods, greater trust in police and government, And so with that, it is my distinct honor to introduce the next police chief for the city of San Diego, Shelley Zimmerman.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Good job.
Thank you, Mayor Faulkner, Councilmember Emerald. Yeah, I got to tell you, I'm absolutely extremely grateful, extremely honored, extremely humbled, and consider it an absolute privilege to wear this uniform and this badge of the San Diego Police Department. And I cannot thank you enough for this opportunity. But before I go on any further, I do want to not only personally, but publicly thank our chief, Chief William Lansdowne, for his almost 50 years in law enforcement experience. Your guidance, your leadership, and your unwavering commitment to not only our department, but to our great city. Chief, we are a better department and a better city because of all of your efforts. Chief, I'm gonna tell a little story. If you remember, I was one of the first officers that you met about 10 years ago. It was a Sunday, it was 3 o'clock, it was out at Mid-City Division, it was a homicide scene. I was a lieutenant at the time. Middle of the afternoon on a Sunday, our new police chief came out to that scene. And that is just one of many stories of his commitment to this city. Chief, it was you who gave me the opportunity to work in a variety of assignments and in several leadership positions. And it was you that have prepared me well for today to become the next police chief of our great department, the San Diego Police Department. So for that, I will be internally grateful to you, sir. And I would like to take a few minutes to talk about our department and the San Diego Police Department. All of our officers, all of our civilians, all of our volunteers are extremely committed in making sure the city of San Diego is a safe place for everyone to not only to live, but to work, to play, and to visit. And as a proud member of our department for 31 years, I can tell you without question that 99.9% of our officers serve every single day with honor, distinction, and professionalism. And for those few that make the absolute terrible decision to discredit this badge and dishonor our profession, I will not tolerate this. I completely support the audit of our department because, as with any critical incident, our department, the San Diego Police Department, we debrief that incident because no matter how well it went, we always believe that we can do better. And we are always looking at ways to improve and do things better. And if this audit can tell us and help us predict why an officer would choose to discredit our badge and our uniform, we want to know, and we welcome that input so we can help prevent it from ever happening again. Earlier today, we spoke at the Public Safety and Livable Neighborhood City Council meeting where we discussed our year-end crime numbers for 2013. And I'm proud to say that we are one of the safest, largest cities in the United States. But we also reported that we are seeing a rise in some crimes and our response times are increasing in several of our priority categories. We also reported on our recruitment and our retention challenges that we are facing at our police department, and these challenges do continue. But I also know that working together under the leadership of Mayor Faulkner, all of our city council, our city attorney, and every single member of our police department, and every single community member, and every single community that is out there, there isn't anything that we can't accomplish. Think about this for a second, and imagine the wonderful possibilities of this united, collaborative, and cooperative relationship with all of these entities as we move our department forward with the goal of becoming the safest largest city in the United States. So again, I am absolutely extremely grateful, humbled, and so very proud to lead our department forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief. And now it's my sincere pleasure to introduce Chief William Lansdowne, gentleman who has served this city with distinction and honor and tireless service. And it's been my pleasure to work with him for the past 8 years, and I can tell you know firsthand how much Chief Lansdowne loves this city, loves this department. I'm not convinced he ever had any type of personal life at all because he was here 24/7. As I've said, our city owes Bill Lansdowne a debt of gratitude for his service and his commitment to this police department and to this great city of San Diego. And it's my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce Police Chief Bill Lansdowne. Chief, thank you.
Thank you very much. You know, I'm very excited about today. I have decided to step down and move on. It's time for somebody else in the organization. I've had 10 wonderful years here. And I want to thank Mayor Faulkner for being gracious to allow me to do that. The decision was absolutely mine and mine alone. I believe for all the right reasons. I know in my heart that he picked the right person to lead the city of San Diego forward. Shelley Zimmerman, the assistant chief, who is now going to have the privilege and honor to be the chief of the city of San Diego. It is a privilege and honor that is bestowed on few people during the history of this great organization. But she has the compassion, the integrity, and the courage to do that. She has the understanding that being chief of police is like no other job in the city of San Diego. It requires somebody that understands what they are looking forward to. And what they are looking forward to and what this city expects is, it's not an appointment to chief of police. It's a gift from this city and a gift from this council and a gift from the mayor. Because you immediately become responsible for the very lives and safety of 1.3 million people every single day. You immediately become responsible for the lives and well-being of all the officers that every day polish their badge and go out and risk their life in unbelievable circumstances and are successful. It is the police department, I believe, that is part of what makes the city great. Police department has changed over my 50 years in law enforcement. And I'll tell you how it's changed, and you're seeing that change today. When I started in law enforcement in February 28, 1966, women weren't allowed in law enforcement. And when I started that very same day, my lovely wife Sharon also started with me in the academy. And she couldn't be a police officer, and she got half the pay that I got. But she carried a gun, she worked undercover, and she went out on patrol with the rest of us because women weren't allowed to be police officers in the state. After 7 years, she sued the San Jose Police Department, and she became a full-fledged officer. And I'll tell you, in those 50 years that I'm so proud of working as a law enforcement professional, as a police chief in 3 great cities, the most significant, important change that I've ever seen is when we allowed women in law enforcement. Chiefs of police across this great nation will tell you they came up with the idea of community policing, of allowing community to be part of the organization, to allowing community to have input on how we police, to allow the organization to be problem solvers instead of enforcers, that have allowed police departments to look at law enforcement as a tool, what we provide to a city as service. I suggest to you, and it's my professional opinion over these years, that would have never have happened unless women were allowed in police departments. I can tell you in this male-dominated world that I came from in 1966, an absolutely correct answer to any question to the men in the San Jose Police Department, as irregardless of how important or how complex, the answer was yes or no. But women did something different that men don't do, and it's because of who they happen to be. They ask a simple question: why? That question, why, significant change to law enforcement. And I am grateful that this department is in the hands of Assistant Chief Shelley Zimmerman. She is going to have this wonderful experience that I've experienced and I cherish. She's going to be, after the swearing-in ceremony, she gets the badges and the accolades, she's going to be driving home, and she's going to take that badge out and she's going to look at it. And on that badge will say, Chief. She's the one from that day forward is responsible for everything that happens in the department. You're in good hands, you've selected well, and I don't think that you could pick a better friend, a better partner, a better person to lead the San Diego Police Department. It's my time to step down. It is hers to step up. So congratulations, Shelley, good luck, and Godspeed.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief. I now introduce our City Attorney, Jan Goldsmith, to talk about the independent review. City Attorney?
Thank you. Boy, I've never followed the chief in speaking, but this is hard. Let me tell you, Chief Lansdowne, I have a lot of stories, and I'm looking forward to the roast. But I will tell you right now that I'm very sad you're leaving, but I respect your decision. You've left us with a great successor, Chief Zimmerman, who we've worked with in our office and really respect her skills. You've also left us with two ideas for improvement and reforms that we are, as a city, are committed to following up on and making happen. And that commitment's made by not only Chief Zimmerman, but the mayor-elect, our council president, and our office. And one of them has to do with the independent review. The independent review must be thorough and independent. What I mean by thorough, no rock unturned. What I mean by independent is that it's conducted by outsiders, that we cooperate, we provide information, but those outside the city will determine the scope and determine the report. Let me give you an example of the group that we're focusing on is the community-oriented police services of the Department of Justice. This is an example of their report in Las Vegas, and we have some additional copies if anybody wants to get through it. It's 149 pages. It includes 75 reforms, findings, recommendations, and implementation steps in 24 pages. It was done thoroughly and comprehensively, and we're committed to making that happen and to ensure that it is independent. In addition to the review, those of you who may have noticed this morning, the city's budget committee is sending on to the city council for approval a proposal to add $2 million to the police department's budget now as a mid-year budget adjustment. And that is to fund uniform cameras for every police officer in SDPD. This $2 million is worth every penny. Cameras are being used successfully in other jurisdictions, and they're going to serve three important functions in San Diego. First, they're going to help our office in prosecuting crimes and the district attorney's office. We have videos of criminal activity, often of interference with police officers. We have indisputable evidence in the form of videos. Second, they'll help protect officers from false or overstated claims. And I understand the media accounts of certain very high-profile cases. But I want to tell you what I told the committee this morning. Our office handles every police misconduct case that's litigated against the city of San Diego. I can tell you that the overwhelming majority of those cases are either false or overstated, and we win the overwhelming majority of those cases on those bases. I can tell you that the high-profile cases are unacceptable, but we have, even when we win, we have officers going to court, depositions, having to deal with the personal defense of being sued. We want the officers to have a camera on their uniform that will protect them. But also there's a third part of that, and that is those very few, that 0.1%, not the 99.9, but the 0.1% who may be bad apples. We want to deter them, or we want to find out what they did, and we want to deal with it. And so those purposes for the camera are extremely important. I'll tell you one thing, that other jurisdictions have had this. They've studied it. And it's no surprise that they found that these cameras work to deter both members of the public from false claims against our officers, but also wrongdoing by officers. I'm going to leave you with a comment from the American Civil Liberties Union, who supports cameras on uniforms, when they say cameras have the potential to be a win-win, helping protect the public against police misconduct, and at the same time helping to protect the police against false accusations of abuse. So we have some reforms already on the way. We have a new chief, well-trained. We all have confidence in her. We also have the study moving forward, and we're also going to get cameras on the uniforms of our police officers. And we're gonna restore the confidence that we think is justified in the SDPD. And our office supports the SDPD, and we support Chief Zimmerman as the next chief of this SDPD. Thank you.
Thank you, City Attorney. Thank you, Jan. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so very, very proud of this police department, the men and women that you see standing behind me, who put their lives on the line every single day. Chief Bill Lansdowne, sir, I'm so proud of you and your service. Thank you for everything you've done for the city. And Chief Zimmerman, we can't wait for you to get started and do a fantastic job. And I know that you're going to make this entire city proud. A very proud day for the San Diego Police Department, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for being here, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Done. This department needs leadership now. I wasn't going to put this city through 6 months or a year of a search when we have such a capable leader who knows the challenges that lie ahead, I'm confident is going to meet those challenges. Chief Zimmerman is going to do a remarkable job for the city. My job as mayor, and working with my colleagues on the council, is to ensure that this department has the resources and the support that it needs to be successful, and we are going to do that. Yes, Chief.
Of course. Thank you. What we're going to do, our command staff in the next 30 days, we're going to take a hard look at all of our different departments, our different units, but I will tell you that we will very soon be reinstituting our professional standards unit. It is an offshoot of the internal affairs, but I guess I'd call it more of a proactive internal affairs.
Well, that's my job, and that's the job of the council. And with the support of our Public Safety Committee, this is a priority of mine. This is a priority of the council. It's a priority of this city. It's our job to make sure that we have the resources necessary, and we're going to do just that. Any other thoughts or questions? Yes, Mr. Powers. We talked about that today at our Budget and Finance Committee meeting. The council has a commitment and will be forwarded to the full council for support for cameras for every single officer. I will be working with Chief Zimmerman and our city attorney and my colleague Marty Emerald on implementation, Jeff, on a timeline that makes sense, that we make sure that we get up to speed and we get up to speed quickly. The cost that we discussed today for the cameras was $2 million, and the commitment is there for this council to move forward immediately. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for being here. It's a very proud day for the San Diego Police Department and for this great city of San Diego. Thank you very much.